Brussels, the capital of Belgium. As we know, most of the European Union institutions are located here, where Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has special connections. And he has just accomplished something very important. As I announced, Poland has been exempted from the obligation to accept migrants under the EU relocation mechanism. And so, a great success has been trumpeted. We have delivered 100% of what we agreed with Poles and 100% of what we promised. The problem is that in this situation there is nothing to boast about. Let us recall. This is about the so-called solidarity mechanism of the Migration Pact, that is, accepting illegal immigrants from Africa and Asia into EU countries. While Italy, Spain, Greece and Cyprus have been excluded from the relocation mechanism, Bulgaria, Croatia and Poland, among others, have been recognized as countries facing a serious migration situation and may ask the EU Council for an exemption from relocation, but only for the immediate future. If the decision is positive, it will only cover 6 months, because the Migration Pact comes into force in mid-2026. The EU will be able to graciously agree to the Polish government's humble request, or not. The decision has been taken out of the hands of the Polish government and handed over to the EU, even though this matter does not even fall within the EU's treaty powers. A complete failure for Donald Tusk. No one can outplay me in the EU government. However, the December 13th coalition is digging its heels in and attacking the right wing for telling it like it is. We would like to draw attention to the misinformation spread by right-wing politicians, including MP Brilka, who wrote that the decision had not been made, when in fact it had. Meanwhile, the European Council's website clearly states, after today's political agreement on the solidarity pool, the Council will still have to formally adopt the implementing decision. This will happen after legal scrubbing and translation before 31st December 2025. The government's narrative is supported by former Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs and Administration, Maciej Duszczyk, who boasts that the European Union has made a final decision. Responding to emerging manipulations, the decision adopted today on solidarity in the Migration Pact, in which Poland is completely exempt, is final and non-negotiable. Now it is only being translated into all languages. This is a formality. It may be a formality, but the key information is not that Poland will be among the countries facing a serious migration situation, but that we will not have to accept migrants during a certain period. And here, the European Council's statement comes to the rescue again. Everywhere we read about 2026. Therefore, saying Poland will not accept migrants at all is misleading. We believe that this is simply a game primarily related to the prospect of elections in many important European countries, and Poland is an important European country. What is more, it is not Poland but Cyprus, Greece, Italy and Spain that will be able to benefit from the full pool of solidarity funds. It is by no means the case that we will receive any assistance in this regard, even though several million migrants have passed through Poland in recent years. It is simply deeply unfair that we are not to receive such assistance. There are many indications that bureaucrats in Brussels have gained another tool to control and influence the policies of European countries. It is not without reason that the solidarity mechanism is referred to by many as forced solidarity. The European Union has created a mechanism that assumes it will control the democratic process in individual countries and, for example, there will be elections under government that they do not like, and then the Migration Pact will come into play. We should be the ones to decide who comes to our country, how they will be able to harmonize with our Polish culture, with our national identity. For the government and the December 13th coalition, whatever happens, the most important thing is, as we can see, to talk about promises and successes. However, some people forget that Poles are a nation that cannot be fooled by cheap tricks.